Let's dive right in. Our very own Anthony from Triple Whale is going to chat about how to drive real bottom line impact with AI. Anthony, welcome to the stage.
Thanks, Tamana. Great to meet everyone. Super excited to be here. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get into it. Awesome. So as Tamana mentioned, my name is Anthony. I'm Director of Product Marketing at Triple Whale. And we are just thrilled to have you and really thrilled to get into the nitty-gritty of using AI for your business and why using AI specifically built for e-commerce is going to drive bottom line revenue. Because we know everyone now, I think there was McKinsey just said over 90% of users are using ChatGPT or Claude or other AI chats daily, hourly, or even I know myself, I'm using it in every meeting to brainstorm. But I really want to dive in and discuss why generic AI really isn't enough to drive that bottom line impact. But before we get into AI, I do want to level set on why this is such a big investment area for Triple Whale, but more importantly, why it's so important to so many of our users. Really, in today's very turbulent landscape for e-commerce and retail, it's more important than ever to make data-driven decisions. You have more channels, more marketplaces to worry about, CPMs on every major ad platform continue to rise, and competition just continues to increase as more brands are selling digitally. It's just overwhelming. And sadly, making a true data-driven decision just isn't easy. Even if you've centralized all your data, a hugely important first step, you still have to make many, many steps before you can feel confident in a fast decision. That includes comparing timeframes, looking at different measurement models, analyzing performance, looking at pacing to goal, looking at root cause if there are any anomalies, communicating all of those findings across teams in different communication channels and methods. And that's all just to make a single decision for one focus area. So now you have to do that across your entire business. So think, you're recreating that process around every metric, channel, campaign, ad, creative, product, audience, and more. The reality is there just isn't enough time and there aren't enough people on your team to make sense of all your data. It's just too much. We found that brands are spending at least 15 hours per week analyzing their data to make optimization decisions. But unfortunately, many of these optimizations just happen too late, given the pace of e-commerce. Well, that's where AI comes in. In the last 5 years, AI, as we all know it, has completely reshaped life and business. AI models are beyond powerful. Feels like sometimes you're in science fiction having a conversation, but the problem is that they're trained on the internet, like Reddit threads and Wikipedia pages. They're not trained on your blended ROAS or your margin by SKU. They're brilliant storytellers, but terrible operators. So to give them some context, you have to upload a CSV file, which is not only manual and slow, but it's immediately out of date the moment you hit enter. These models have zero line of sight into the campaigns you launched an hour ago or why your CAC keeps going up. They don't know what good looks like for your business because they're not trained on commerce or benchmarks or seasonality. So see this example from a real customer of ours when asking a generic AI chat. We have one more day of our friends and family sale. What should we do to maximize revenue on that last day? The result, a generic output with no direction on which ads to update, by how much, which to pause, where to pull budget from, or why any of this messaging would work. It's hard to take that and put that into action. And these results aren't just missed potential to be AI first for your business. It's a drag on the growth of your business. Just last month in June, McKinsey found that over 80% of businesses using Gen AI report no bottom line impact. That's astonishing and, quite frankly, really disappointing. To effectively make data-driven decisions with AI, you need intelligence that's wired into your business all in real time. So let's go back to that same prompt for one of our customers. So here's the output from the generic AI chat. Now here's the output from Mobi. You can immediately see the difference. So for those who don't know, Mobi is our AI. We have Mobi Chat, which you can chat with your data. And then we have Mobi Agents, autonomous agents that you can turn any chat into. We also have a pre-built library of agents. But Mobi is so smart because it's wired into all of your data in real time and has access to the best-in-class measurement models. And so when you're looking at that same exact prompt, Mobi gives a full plan, starting with the top priority action to relocate $2,000 from Facebook to Google and Bing. Mobi even tells you when to do it. Then Mobi goes deeper with using an MMM model to suggest budget allocations by channel with the projected impact. And Mobi even ends with a final day revenue and ROAS projection based on these results. Super actionable, digestible, and of course, really valuable. And not pictured here is the full analysis and context behind Mobi's recommendations, all available to dig deeper so you can feel extremely confident in making that decision. So this is actually that same prompt in the user's story. And so I thought it'd be best to just play this video of the user telling us what they did when they asked Mobi that prompt.
So this was a prompt that I was using the Mobi build feature for the reports. And so I gave it kind of some context. So it's the final day of our giveaway. I want to scale ad spend as high as possible. And sales are going picked up in the final hours of the day. Sales CBR profit will follow a similar trend too. And then I gave it a date of a previous giveaway, a final day that we had. And because we see a large portion of our sales on that final day. So we scale up our ad spend a ton, and everything's the fear of missing out, and that's always the highest day of the giveaway. So it analyzed that and then gave me a report. And I mean, we know that these are the highest hours of the day, but I kind of just gave it I was like, this is so thorough. I was like, this is so nice and aesthetic. And it made it made perfect sense. And it told me everything that we do and we know, but I was like, I'm going to follow it to a T. I'm going to do every single thing that it says, and I want to see what the results are. So begin scaling, 6:30, automatic rules, prioritize, lower bid caps, monitor, and then I used another one too that I doubled these ad sets, and the results were insane. I did to a T. I did exactly what it said. So, and we were able to hit our highest spend, highest profit, and highest revenue day we've ever hit. So it ended up being a 764.
That is so awesome to hear. I will
And
add
that passes our previous biggest day by $200,000.
So hopefully the sound was working there. I know it was there's a little bit of an echo on my end, but the user followed, one of our early access customers followed Mobi's prompt and just saw their best revenue day ever in history. I mean, it's pretty remarkable. And really, Mobi does deliver value across your business. So with agents, you're uncovering insights that just weren't humanly possible. So LSKD, a global brand based in Australia, they have over 23 stores globally. They ran a 4-day sale, and the Mobi agent looked at all of their previous sales and knew that the ratio was way off. It suggested investigating whether affiliates were bidding on branded terms in Google Ads. And ultimately they were. The agent saw something that wasn't humanly possible without a massive team of analysts or deeper knowledge of the brand and how they drive traffic and awareness. We actually just launched a case study with LSKD, so I highly recommend checking it out. Using Mobi agents, we see brands are saving over 70% in weekly reporting and manual analysis. That's both brands and agencies, where we've had agencies cut their weekly reporting by 78%. Some brands are saving over 20 hours per week. It's remarkable. And ultimately, using Mobi agents allow you to scale more efficiently faster. So LSKD saw a 40% lift in ROAS. Under Outfit, one of our other brands that we have a case study with, they avoided 5 new hires by using Mobi agents to automate work and avoid hiring 5 new analysts on their team. The results are just truly insane. And so I wanted to talk through how can you use Mobi agents across your business? And so we have Mobi agents actually pre-built for different functions. So we have Mobi agents for creative analysis. They analyze thousands of creatives at scale by using computer vision to see all of your creative elements, scan them just like a human would, and even watch your video ads to understand what creative and is working and what's not in videos. So here's one of my favorite creative analysis agents, the Iterate on Top Ads agent. So here I'm going to play the video, and you can see the agent actually can look at generate creative based on what's working across all of your top ads for you. And so what we found is that while AI creative generation it's getting closer, it might not still be there to say, hey, we're going to have AI generate this creative for me and we'll put it out. But it gets you really close, so it can drastically expedite creative briefing and creative handoff, making it extremely faster rather than having to manually describe and give a report of what's working and what's not. You can automate all of that. So Dixon, who we're actually going to have a conversation with later today, Austin discusses that they were using their creative analysis agent and saw 30 times faster analysis of their creatives by having Moby agents automatically look across every creative on every channel. They were looking at over 600 variations to identify what was working and what wasn't, so that they could scale and optimize more effectively. We also have agents for customer retention. So they work deeply with Klaviyo to provide campaign recommendations, flow analyses, and so much more to really boost customer lifetime value and repeat purchase rates. So here's one of my favorite agents, the Email Campaign Performance and Analysis Ideas agent. It will ultimately go through all of your email campaigns, tell you what's working, the send times that are best, the creative that's best, the copy, and then provide you even with a campaign idea fully fleshed out. The audience that you should send to, the send time that you should use, the copy, you name it, all based on your data. So let's watch it. So here you can see the agent output going through the analysis of across all of your campaigns. You can see your top performing campaigns. Gives you insights into what worked well, from imagery, CTAs, personalization, gives you an action plan for future campaigns, and then even gives you a campaign idea fully fleshed out. 3 of them, to be exact. So on the right, actually, we have a quote from one of our early access customers, Press Juicery. They use our email flow analysis agent because not only does the email flow agent look at the flows you have running, it actually finds the gaps that you have in your flows, which is something that Daniel found is really hard. You know what you're doing, but you don't know what you're not doing. Gives you example flows to use and even campaigns. It even shows you how to A/B test subject lines. So we also have agents purpose-built for customer acquisition. They look across every marketing touch point, telling you where you should invest more in and where you should invest less in for maximum return. These agents not only leverage our 8 different multi-touch attribution models, but they also look at our marketing mix model, so our MMM, and incrementality testing to ensure that their recommendations are crystal clear and recommendations that you can actually trust. So one of my favorite agents here is our Ads Copilot, which are agents that are actually built specifically into our attribution dashboard, where so many of our users live day in and day out. They tell you right where you're working, whether you should scale spend, or pause campaigns. They can even tell you on the campaign specific level, if it's an ABO campaign, and really accommodate for different cost measures. So let's check out the video. So you can see right in your attribution table, you have the Ads Copilot. You can see at the campaign level what it's telling you if you should scale spend. And you're like, oh, that's interesting, but how do I know why I should scale spend? You can click right in and read the analysis so that you can feel confident in that decision. Full recommendation even at the end. Really powerful stuff. Okay, and really the last spotlight is for website conversion, where we have agents that scan your entire web page, decodes your entire site, identifies gaps in your funnel immediately, all so that you can turn browsers into buyers instantly. So we're highlighting our landing page recommendation agent here, which looks across all of your landing pages, Mark tells you which landing pages are priority. It tells you, hey, what's top performing? Why are they top performing? What are your underperforming landing pages? How does that change across different devices? And so this is really giving you all of the data in GA, completely automated with crystal clear recommendations of where to test, how to A/B test, and really allowing you to optimize your website funnel really simply. Let's check it out. So you can see here, it's giving you an overview, but then, hey, you have some critical issues. Your cart abandonment, you have 5 high traffic but low converting pages. Then you can dig into the analysis of your top performance, your conversion funnel, pulls out priority pages for immediate optimization, giving a stack rank of those priorities, giving you a strategic action plan. Again, all really digestible so that it says, hey, within the next 90 days, you have different phased out plans that you can implement really simply. So from Kick-Ass Products, they actually gave us, we were chatting with them just a couple of weeks ago, and they gave us an amazing quote that we were like, this is awesome. We didn't even know Moby could do this. Where Jenny, one of their copywriters, states that, a big part of her role is managing their blog. So she actually asked Moby to analyze, hey, across the blog, how much revenue is generated via the links in the blogs and what was most successful from a styling perspective. So Moby not only gave her a detailed overview, but it also suggested topics that were aligned with their best performing blogs. And then Moby went ahead and just wrote the blogs for her. And she found them incredibly technical and had the engineers review them and found them to be all spot on. It's incredible. So I know we've talked about a lot and we have a full day of really exciting content. So I did just want to leave you with this. We did just release Moby to the wild yesterday. So now you can even try Moby for free by just heading to triplewhale.com to get started. So we really wanted to lower the barrier of entry and unleash the power of Moby to everyone. But thanks so much for having me. I can see if there's any questions. Awesome. I see some excitement in the chat. But thank you so much for having me. Tamana, I think we might be right at time, but let me know if there's anything else.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Anthony. That was amazing. And I think there were a few questions in the chat, but if you have a moment to go through them and reach out to them directly, that would be awesome. Lots and lots of excitement around Moby. So thank you once again. So happy to have you. Always nice to be on stage with you as well.
Likewise. Thanks for having me and have a great rest of the session, everyone.